How far is too far when it comes to comics and movies? Marvel and DC. Like some of these stories, even in the animated series, the animated movies. I think DC more than Marvel with the animated movies. Take Injustice. I did a rant on this. Injustice. The movie itself has Superman conspiring to take over the government, sets a curfew for some kids, and they don't bow down to him and listen to him, and so he kills them. Flash is decapitated. Joker kills Lois Lane and Superman's unborn child, and Superman punches through the Joker and kills him, rips his heart out, and Batman gets mad at this. Wonder Woman tries to sleep with Superman right after, and Robin Damian, Batman's son, kills Nightwing, Dick Grayson. Oh yeah, and if anybody cares, Superman also kills the Atom, for whatever that's worth. And that's only bits and pieces of the Injustice movie. Now, the part I'm talking about is kind of going too far. Okay, you murder Lois Lane and her pregnant child, and I'm not, and even with the gore, do we need all of it? And look at that. Superman punches right through Joker. He has that vile smile and smirk as he's going to his death. And of course, Batman gets mad. Why? I don't know. But even with Marvel, the whole Jessica Jones was crazy. I think Marvel had to. I guess they were in conjunction with Alias, which is another type of, I don't know, but the story was so vile and sick that Marvel couldn't publish it or something like that. Jessica Jones was under the mind of the Purple Man and became like a sex slave with abuse and physically and mentally. And I mean, the guy was basically enforcing human trafficking. That's sick. I mean, she snaps out of it and becomes a drunk and then becomes a detective and ends up having a one-night stand with Luke Cage, and she eventually kills the Purple Man, and her and Luke Cage have a kid. They get married and live happily ever after, and then that's our first interracial couple, a legit interracial couple. And I don't mean that as a racist act or anything. I mean that Luke Cage was black and Jessica Jones was white. It wasn't like Iris and Barry Allen, Flash, who's with Iris and she's black now, or Mary Jane's black and Peter Parker. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I mean. I'm saying these were the original characters, or what they were, before you guys start jumping on me in the comments section. But I mean, the killing of Joker was just crazy, which reminds me of this god-awful animated series that I don't recommend anyone see. I almost recommend you going to see that Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan. This was so bad. It's called The Killing Joke. Batman The Killing Joke, where it's a Batman animated movie, and has the Joker shoot and paralyze Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, who was having sexual relationships and an affair behind Jim Gordon's back, and not only behind Jim Gordon's back, behind Dick Grayson's back, who's now Nightwing, and that's his girlfriend. How crazy is that? And the Nightwing doesn't find out, of course, and it's not like that. But if you watch the animated series, it's just stuff is all over the place. I mean, I'm starting to look at Batman like he's a playboy. He has a one-night stand with Ra's al Ghul. He's on and off with Catwoman. Now Batgirl is his product is, Robin's your boy. You raised him. And how old is Batgirl? That's Jim Gordon's daughter. And you're a hero? And Blade is the backstory to this is just sick. Blade's mother was being bitten by a vampire while giving birth to him. I'm not even going to get into what the vampire was actually trying to do. This is sick and twisted writing, but it's been cleaned up over the years. Thank goodness. But, why can't Blade just come out and all of a sudden the vampire bite him? Why does it always have to be anyway? Daredevil and the Punisher are trying to find some drug dealers because of some bad angel dust that was given to a girl who OD'd. They end up fighting each other. Now, this story is more publicized because of the drug game and how high you can get. That has nothing to do with superheroes. They're fighting each other because the angel dust is bad. They want to get it off the streets. But yet, instead, you read this story in the comics, the drug dealers are more... You can't have your kid just reading a comic book nowadays and think Peter Parker's beating up the Scorpion or Vulture. Or the Super Friends have just introduced the Wonder Twins. That stuff is gone. And I mentioned this before, that the sickest, the most twisted of them all is the Sinister. This guy's crazy and mad, and whoever wrote this stuff, apparently he did a good job because this guy's crazy. He wants to create his own race. This guy went to Germany and became a Nazi spy, for his cause, just so he can experiment on kids to create his own race. Which is why I guess he was so infatuated with Cyclops, because when Scott Summers was a kid, he hung around him and manipulated him, and Professor X saw the wickedness and rescued him. This guy's sick. There's a comic I read. He went to Russia, impregnated Colossus's grandparents with the help of some colleague, and almost killed their whole family in the process. And till this day, I guess and apparently in some timelines and some of the different Earths, they end up killing him. But still to this day, Cyclops and Jean Grey, he's apparently created a bootleg Jean Grey, and Cyclops sleeps with her, and that's where we get Cable from the future. I mean, it's just all over the place. This guy is just sick and demented. The days of Spidey in the 60s, like I said, fighting Rhino and Wendy and Marvin of the Super Friends and the Wonder Twins and the Fox Kids with Spider-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Fantastic Four. I even think Silver Surfer had his own show for a minute. But I don't know. Just let me know. Give me your take on when you think, the Marvel or DC universe has gone too far. I don't even want to mention, shows like Cloak and Dagger and Titans. And those are kind of dark and crazy too. But leave me a comment. Let me know what your darkest and most vile story of a DC and Marvel comic book was. This is Just a Waters Rant.